Hey guys, welcome back. Today is raining. It's also pretty cold. It's 2 degrees Celsius, so for south of the border, it's pretty fucking cold. What I'm gonna do today is just try and build the tool that I need to kind of make it look like the factory Ford tool to change out these valves and install the valve spring keepers. Other than that, it's actually raining out. I said I wouldn't do any kind of work in the rain, but only drizzling. Let's get to it. Guys, the rain's actually gotten a little bit worse. Oh, too bad to be working outside. I got the holes drilled for these to be mounted to the cylinder head. In reality, it's gonna look like this. Where this hole is, it's a little bit too low. This is just some scrap metal head laying around. Probably mounted up a little bit higher, maybe somewhere around here. Just gonna drill a hole through so that I can get something that goes straight across, nice and square, and then something that I can leverage a socket or something that wraps around the valve spring retainer. That piece will be there and also drilled out with a hole so that it goes straight across, and I'll be able to use like a breaker bar or something across there. I haven't quite decided. The rain is getting too bad to stay out here. I gotta get the cylinder head put away, get it dried up. I will be back when the rain is done. Well guys, it's April 13th. On my way to work. Woke up to some snow. Actually quite a bit of it. Hopefully it melts before 5 so we can get some more work done. Back after work. It's still kind of rainy and shitty outside, so we're gonna take this to the shed. It's only about +1. I think what I might do is actually put the heater in the shed, because if I don't do something, you guys aren't gonna get any content. Well, we're in the shed. Lights are on. I think I might get one more light for in here. It's kind of a little bit dim. We're gonna finish doing these the tool for this valve spring. Well, I got the little buddy heater rocking. This thing should have this up to temperature pretty quick, and then I'm gonna have to turn it down. I'm gonna go get some bolts and bolt these in place. That way I can get some nice square lines made up so that I can cut them down, because they don't need to be as long as they are. And as long as they are, they might actually cause some issues. As you can see, I got the plates bolted into place. This is nice and flush with the front of the cylinder head. This is the mark that I've made to decide where to cut this one down to length. What I'm going to do is take a square and a straight piece of square tubing, go across the top of this, and also make a square mark on this so that I can cut this down to length. I'm going to try and show you guys that. Got the square squared up on this side. Feel like it's pretty square. Doesn't have to be perfect. Make a paint mark there. Unbolt these. We will we'll get them cut down. I'm gonna make the alignment hole somewhere along, I think here, along the bottom section where the exhaust cam goes. I'm gonna try and get the bar to go through this. I got my plates cut, my holes drilled. My plan is to, I don't have a big enough drill bit right now, but my plan is to actually open these holes up big enough to fit, I think, a 1/2-inch drive extension. Probably fit nicely through here. My plan then is to make a pivot. Like, this is an old ratchet. It doesn't, I don't even think it ratchets anymore. No, it doesn't ratchet at all. It's basically a breaker bar at this point. But then what I could do, so if I weld, say I got a nut and a nut, kind of put this like so, and then weld it, and then I have like a nice pivot. I think that would kind of work pretty well, actually. And then I got a bunch of old sockets and stuff that I kind of use to make custom tools for at work. And then what I could do is take the socket and cut it so that it fits nicely over top of the valve spring retainer. Basically make it look like a double-ended O2 sensor socket. That way I can use the right length extension to get the proper pivot points. Once I'm done building these tools, you guys will see it's gonna work. It just sucks that I wasn't able to actually get the tools through work because they're $700. It's a lot of money for a tool to use one time. I don't like spending money if I don't have to. There's better places that I can spend money. Eventually, I'd like to go big turbo. I'd like to make some stupid power with this Ecoboost. If I keep spending money on stupid shit, like tools that I can build or can come across for free, I think I'm done for tonight. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, I'm going to get these pieces finished drilled tomorrow. Get this breaker bar welded onto these nuts. I'm going to try and assemble these heads tomorrow. I'll get the heads assembled tomorrow. Maybe Thursday before final editing of Friday's video. I'll bolt down to the cylinder head, put new head gaskets on it, go through the torque sequence of the heads. Okay guys, here it is. We got the plates, the bar, an old ass ratchet welded to 2 nuts. The welds are shit, but they're stuck. And then what I did was I took an old socket. I just cut 2 walls out of it so that I can get the keepers in place. There's not enough leverage on this handle. Basically got another long extension, the socket on the end of it. This should work. I'm gonna try to give you guys a trial run. I don't have the valves in the holes yet, but if this kind of works out the way it needs to work out, then I will start sticking valves in this thing. Here we go. That actually compresses it pretty well. I might have a free hand to be able to put these valve keepers in myself. I may actually have to put a couple head bolts in so that the head doesn't lift, because I think that's what's happening. The head's kind of lifting while I'm compressing this valve spring. Well guys, that was a fail. You live and learn. I'm glad I didn't spend any money. Just spent a pile of time. I just spent like 45 minutes trying to do one valve spring, and it's just not working. I don't know if it's my angles that are incorrect, which I would assume so. I can get one keeper in. It's really difficult. I don't have the tiniest fingers. Once I get this valve spring like compressed, I'll see if I can show you. Get up nice and close. Like I said, so, and see, I got no way to keep the valve from falling down. As you can see, like, I can't even fit my fucking finger in here. I don't have any grease. Like, a magnetic fingertip would be really fucking nice. Today is only Wednesday, so I guess maybe there is a chance that I can find something at work or something tomorrow that could help. We will come back to this because I'm gonna get this done. I've never been so irritated. Hey guys, Thursday, final night for this week of shooting because tonight's editing night. If what I'm about to do doesn't work out, well then you guys get what you get this week. Hope it works out and we will see. It's finally sunny, it's beautiful, it's warm, 7 degrees, which is actually cold to some people. And anyways, let's get to it. So I just got this first one in. YouTube made it look much easier. All I used was a socket, vice grips, set the valve spring in, retainer in, set the keepers in place, and basically push and pray. You'll see that time it didn't catch. Kind of knocked the keeper out of the way. Try again. Change the camera angle here. See if that works. I don't know if it was because camera positioning kind of being in my way or what. Kind of like a slow, steady process. You can kind of almost feel it grab, but it doesn't quite go. Cylinder heads are not meant for big fingers. That might have been the problem. I think the valve fell a little bit. Well, there you have it. That time it went. I just have 4 more to do on this head and 6 more to do on the other head. And we're gonna get these cleaned up and put them onto the engine. Here comes time lapse. So I think once you do about 30 of these cylinder heads like this with these type of valve spring retainers, you can probably get good. The first few were really difficult. The last 3 went by super smooth. I got all 6 intake valves, springs, retainers, keepers all in place. I'm gonna go get the other cylinder head and I'll time lapse that one too. Then I think we're gonna bolt these in place tonight. Okay guys, I got the other 6 done. We are going to go to the shed, bolt these heads in place. I'm gonna clean up the mounting surfaces, get this ready, and I will be back. Like I said, in the shed, I got the first cylinder head and first block deck surface cleaned and prepped, ready for the first head. Gonna put a new gasket on here in a second. This is gonna be about as sloppy mechanics as you can get. Like I said, I'm not spending a lot of money on this build to get it going. Upgrades will come, shit's gonna break. I'm just doing this to make it work. This motor was free. It's cost me $25 worth of valves, and I think the head gaskets and the head bolts were like another 50 bucks total. I'm using all Ford parts. You can see how cheap this motor could potentially be rebuilt for if you pick one up out of the scrapyard. The only reason I'm using new head gaskets and new head bolts is because I don't know how well they would work to be reused. I've never tried. I have reused head gaskets in other motors. I've seen the LS guys do it. I've used, I think, the 5-liter 302 push rod motor. I've reused the head gaskets in one of those. 2.3-liter Lima. It seemed to be okay. I didn't run it long enough afterwards for it to work. But anyways, I'm gonna slap a head gasket in this thing, put this head on, torque it down, and you guys can watch. Started. I'm going to torque this cylinder head down. There's actually 5 sequences to torque the cylinder head down. I'm going to hyperlapse this one. Once I have once I get finished the second head, I will be back to finish up this video. Both cylinder heads torqued in place. That torque sequence isn't actually that bad. I thought the 3 yields would get tougher. They weren't that bad. Here it is, assembled, technically short block, I guess. I gotta measure all the buckets for each valve again, because like I said, I didn't mark them before I took them out. Should have. Then I had a coworker also mention the fact that I'm putting new valves in. The new valves should be measured with the proper buckets. I think that might end up being a behind the scenes mini episode. This is coming together. I'm surprised at how well that socket trick. I found the video on YouTube. I was really struggling last night. I was quite irritated how my tool that I built was not working at all. That's a lesson that I like to live by. If you don't try, you don't know. And you don't know until you try. Whatever you want to try, give it your all one time. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. There's always another way to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. Try, and if you fail, at least you can say you tried. We are done. I'm exactly where I want to be this week. I got some good news. When this is uploaded, my cross member is supposed to be here. I get to go ahead and start working on the front section of the frame. Hit that like and subscribe button. Ring that bell for notifications. Like I said, I'm going to keep posting content, or this build is going to be done documented very well, not only for you guys, but for myself. This is keeping me motivated to actually go through with this build. I've had multiple projects where I run out of steam and I don't know what to do. They get sent to the scrapyard. I don't want that to happen with this build. This is going to be something completely different, something completely... I haven't seen it yet. Actually, I can't say that. I've seen one Ranger swap with the 3.5. Trying to remember the name of who did it. Fat Fender Garage actually did that one, but their build was kind of, it seemed like it was a no expensive spared build, which is cool and all, but I'm trying to show you guys that you can do this with what you have. I don't have a lot. Like, you can see my shed. This is what I have to work with, and I get to work outside. Like I said, just go out there, do what you want to do. Do it as best as you possibly can before you say you can't. I've been told multiple times that this swap is not going to work. I am going to prove people wrong. It will work, and I want you guys to follow along. So again, like and subscribe, and hit that bell button. I'm out. Have a good one.